You spoke in one episode about how intensity was sort of something you felt the team were lacking. I guess, what do you do to try and ensure that doesn't happen again? Do you have sort of mental issues, is it preparation?
After looking the game back, I still agree that we lack some intensity in some spells. I think it's the first game where I've really seen that. I think the rest of the other games, I think we all through enough minutes playing with good enough intensity. I think I rather would word it like I think too many times in the game we are out of sync, off diff for whatever reason. So when we either wanted to defend well in the middle pressure, sometimes we were a little bit too open. High pressure, we were not organized well enough, quick enough. And I think in phase 1, phase 2, too many times we're a little bit out of sync in our structure, and all that make us not look perfect and make the players had to run a lot of hard yards, and that can also add to the look of us not playing with intensity.
Is it a concern, I guess, that maybe that comes so early?
Say again, sorry?
Is it a concern that came very early in a run of busy fixtures rather than sort of third down the line? You've now got 2 sort of very intense away games coming up.
No. I'm convinced that we will play with top intensity against Everton. I'm convinced, and also convinced we'll perform well. I think we'll perform very competitive. Are we completely free floating and all that? I think that can be maybe not. But I'm convinced the competitive performance will be there, because we need to look into the small structural change and make sure that I help the team with make sure we are in sync enough in the different phases.
And just one on Romero, how big a miss is he, obviously defensively, but also sort of on the ball, and how much that impacts the team?
I think Coach is a top central defender in every aspect, as a leader, as a defender, and as a playmaker is maybe a big word, but as a player that helps the team building from the back. George.
I think 1-winning 5 is a tricky run, but I saw a tweet the other day which said your record is identical to Mauricio Pochettino's first games, about 6, and I mean include the draw with Foreign Feet at the SG, we've lost 3. Does that just kind of show, given how long he was at this club, how much success he had, where time is kind of the key ingredient anyone needs to build something special?
I think it's not only that example, but I think it's a good example. Of course, Pochettino is a legend here. What he built and what he was part of achieving, I think is definitely a spell I looked at when I was not here, and of course very aware of when I got offered the job. Always looked at that and thinking, wow, what he built and what they built together there was quite unique and quite impressive. I think it's any success, I'm probably sure any success in the football history is more or less from clubs, teams that had the same head coach and manager for a long spell. And that's, of course, it's not about me, but include the key staff members. So they have continuity in key staff members. That can be sports directors, that can be CEO, that can be assistant coaches, and of course the manager head coach. So that's like almost a non-negotiable. And then, of course, it is up to me to make sure we have enough progress along the way. But I think we all know it will be a little bit up and down like this, and hopefully it will continue being a little bit better. And sometimes, unfortunately, you can go a little bit like this and can be, oh, this is not funny. And then you're growing a little bit. That's just the way it is. That's football. And that's down to a swing of a leg. Sometimes margin, that a ball is dropping on the wrong side of you, on the other side, injuries, whatever. There's so many things, but step by step we'll get stronger. That I'm not in doubt of, and I'm relatively happy with where we are. Relatively, I always want more. I just know there's more to come.
Cristiano's style of football, everyone remembers.
Say again, sorry?
Style of football, everyone remembers as being brilliant, but he also kind of married up kind of physicality and strength. Certainly the sort of couple of years was that sort of what you want, kind of long term? You want to play good football, but you also want to marry it up with strength and physicality and aggression.
I want to play with high intensity and big aggressivity, and in the Premier League you need physicality. So you need to have a certain level of physicality in the team. If you don't have that, you have no chance. If you look at the three big boys right now, look at Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. All of them are unbelievable physicality. And then you of course need some players that can make the difference. And I need to set up the structure that makes sure we play free-flowing football as much as possible.
Just to finish on Brennan Johnson, you spoke with Monica about he's going to get his games and why he's not played much lately. I think what's striking in the last two games, he's not had loads of minutes, but he's had chances in both of those games. Is that coincidence, or is that more his movement and he just kind of gets in the right areas for those chances?
I think that one of Brennan's big strengths is the ability to arrive in the right areas, and that's a key strength, and the ability to score goals is quite good. And I agree. I think also it was positive when he came on the pitch. I think he arrived. He had the biggest chance we had. He arrived to good areas. He also, I think, worked hard in recovery runs and these bits he need to do. So yeah, that is his key strength.